Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio. Yep, it's another gel print day. um, my goal is to do one of these a week, so there's quite a few videos to edit. Um, and yeah, so now this one, the photo was of a nest, and I was thinking I would do like speckled blue eggs, right? And then add a little brown, just, yeah. That was my intent, but this was probably not the stencil to use for this, because these dots are like really strong. So I did let that dry, and I cut out some egg shapes out of a piece of paper. And so the plan is to, you can see I've tried it or tested it. Anyway, the plan is to try and lift the surrounding polka dots so that it's just on the eggs. And I don't think I gave it enough paint, because you can see nothing is lifting. Well, a few little things lifted. It's very interesting that blue paint was very, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, they came off in little circles. Like, loose, not attached to the paper, not attached to the plate, just by themselves. But you'll see how crazy these blue dots are. And when I pull this print, I realize that this is going to have a lot of work after I pull the final print, because that is some serious blue dots we've got going on. And you'll see. Like, look at those. No egg looks like that. It kind of looks like honeycomb pattern, doesn't it? But yeah, so I'm cleaning up the texture around the eggs just so that I don't have any of those random polka dots coming up on subsequent pulls. So I'm just using a baby wipe. Alright. Yeah, and I get a little obsessed with the edges. There's a lot of dried paint on the edges of my gel plate. I should really clean it up. So it's sitting in a nest, so we're going to put some brown on here. And just going over the backs of the eggs, and then making a little texture with this thing. I thought using the edges, the kind of weird broken edges, would add to that nest effect. I don't know if it's even noticeable in the end print, but yeah. And then I'm just feathering out twigs and stuff. Cleaning some spots that I don't think should have nest on there, and let it dry. Okay, so now I wanted to add some more dark, and I decided I would add some lines to look like twigs and branches. So that's what I'm doing here. You know, this, well, the one I just did, which, will be some future video, I do a lot of stuff with my fingers. It ends up being a long process. So this, I was just thinking, this can be a little tedious maybe to watch. I do have it sped up a lot. Alright, and I wanted to put, the picture that I'm using for reference has some little purple flowers at the bottom. So I put like 3 little flowery sort of shapes with my palette knife to represent those flowers. Alright, so it's mostly dry, and I decided I wanted some sort of vignette, some grunginess around the outside edges. So that's what I'm doing here with the brayer, is just getting some paint on there. I didn't want it to be even. I wanted it to look kind of grungy and crusty, just to give it some sort of vignette interest. Now we're going to pull the whole thing. And you'll see these crazy eggs when I pull this. They're going to need a lot of touching up. And I'm wanting it to be kind of mixed so it's not one solid color. Add more interest to the background. And I've got my paper on there, and I do let it sit on there even though you don't see it. It does sit on there for quite a while and dry before I pull it. Yep, here it is. Alright, so I do a few things. The first thing I do is mute down those blue dots. I decided they were just way too much. And they didn't act like smooth curves either, so you know, the smooth egg shape. So they needed the paint to help with that. And you can kind of see a little bit of the blue dots in there. I tried to leave a little bit, but not much. And again, I am just using craft paint. And this one's like just a slightly off-white color. Once I get those the way I think they look egg-shaped, I'm going to go in with some brown and make that nest look more like a nest. Oh, I do add a little bit of the lighter color for some highlights on the nest. Figured while I was at it, might as well put it on there. Now we're going to add some brown. It's amazing what a little bit of shading will do. I think it just brings it back and saves the picture. Saves the piece. Makes them look like round eggs. And makes the nest look like it might be a nest. Twigs and branches. So how's everyone today? I hope you're all doing well. The day I'm doing this voiceover it's a good day. It's been snowing. I am doing this voiceover in March, but it's still snowing. We've had some crazy weather this year. All that snow in California, and yeah, it's crazy. Alright, so I'm darkening this up just to create even more depth for those eggs. So much for the one pull print on that, huh? It's hard to do like sort of realistic things on the gel plate as a pull. Works much better for like abstract or non-representational patterns and designs and things. I'm just adding a little bit dark in the nest. I'm not changing the brush, but tried to get most of the darker paint out of there before I added some more little highlights. I don't think it's too bad. What do you think of my nest? This could be my Easter themed piece, right? So there it is. Not too bad. It's got a little wrinkle in there. Well, I hope you liked that video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Love to hear your comments. Thank you all for watching. Have an awesome day.